Good morning, my good people of Biafra land. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are at the moment. Happy Saturday to each and every one of us. Happy Saturday to each and every of my listeners out there. My subscribers, my fans, the ones who love what I'm doing. I said happy weekend to you all. I am bringing to us the roundup of the week news, the top headlines, as our culture have always been. After the headlines, then I will go into the news one after the other, the one that affect us most. We the Biafrans and we the lovers of freedom. So, top Okute newspaper headlines for today, Saturday being the 8th of October 2022. Number one here on my list is this flooding demands a state of emergency. Floods are taking over our country. Even our federal capital territory is not eluded or is not excluded. So we are having very serious issues on floods. That is the extent that we have gotten to. The things that the federal government and the state government and other parastatals refuse to do. That is where we get ourselves at this mess by this point in time. Number second on my list here says, we parted with $200,000 arrested terrorist negotiator Tuku Mamu, frustrated over moves. More details emerge on the released Abuja Kaduna train victims. We will come back for this because there's some certain statement they made here which triggered me to choose it as one of the points I'm going to illustrate after the headlines. Don't touch the dial. I'm coming back. Appeal Court orders ASU to resume work immediately. We have another one on our list here. PDP crisis. Wike's camp leads conditions for peace. Accuses Atiku of breaking promises. Tackles Lamido and Aliu. That is the news we get. And another one here on my list is Tunumbu to meet Presidential Campaign Council. APC governors orders over contentious list. We are moving forward. Court strikes out Nnamdi Kanu's suit against High Court Chief Judge. We are coming back. This one really affects us the most. Federal government budget 470 billion naira to address one of ASU's demands. We are moving forward. We are going to still illustrate and expatiate on this very point. APC is an NGO, not a political party, says by Dino Malaye, Mox ruling party. That is the same party he was shouting Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. Now they have turned to NGO. Dino Malaye, the thunder that will fire you is still doing press up from Ile-Ife or even from from Mogadishu. That is how you people do. Anywhere you see that they will give you money, you will jump. That is how you keep jumping from APC to PDP. Tomorrow, if PDP do not do well, you see jump out from there to APC, castigating anyone because of your stomach infrastructure. Nonsense and useless set of politicians we have in Nigeria. Tunumbu, APC stripes Senator Abo off membership list. We are going to also emphasize on this very matter. We have a sports this thing on our list here, but I am not going to go into sports news. Let's take the news that concerns us most, which is the news about our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, court strikes out Nnamdi Kanu's suit against High Court Chief Judge. Let's see what happens there. Justice Inyanga Edim Eko of Federal High Court on Friday struck out the suit instituted by the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, against the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Tissot, on the secret trial of terrorism charges policy of the court. The suit, which has only the Chief Judge as the sole defendant, was thrown out following its withdrawal by Kanu himself. Kanu was reported to have sued the Chief Judge before the court following the adoption of a practice direction that directed the trial of terrorism-related charges to be done in camera. He agitated that the secret trial policy, which was implemented shortly after the federal government's land 15-count reasonable felony charges against him, was an infringement of his fundamental rights to a fair trial. Niger News gathered that at today's proceedings, when the hearing was to start, the Biafra Nation agitator, through his lawyer Ifeanyi Ejiofor, announced that he was no longer interested in continuing with the suit. So as you people can see, we the Biafrans, we the agitators, we also have to learn from this, that our own leader is even dropping some suit. Some case he have leveled against the chief judge, or one of those judges that is handling his cases in court. Even before the trial starts, he have made it clear through his lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that he is no longer interested to pursue that case. So my people, let's not be an scapegoat on this our pursuit for freedom. Let's always make use of our brains. Let's always know what to say and when to say it, so that we will not complicate issues for ourselves and also complicate issues for our own leader, who is in detention for some months now, since the year 2021. So please, my people, I am begging you people, what we need now is dialogue in the pursuit for freedom, in the pursuit for Biafra, in the pursuit for independence of Biafra. What we need most now is dialogue, not by violence, because violence never gain anything. I know it. When I say this now, some people will come out and begin to attack me and said that kingdom of God suffered violence and the violent one taken it by force. That is what the white people made us to understand. That is what they wrote in the Bible. So if we should dig deep into our own culture, I don't think there's any place that there such a thing is written in our own culture. So let's embrace our culture first before the white man culture. So I rest my case from here. Another news on my hand here is the flooding that is ravaging all the whole states in Nigeria because of bad governance. The erosions are not properly handled. The drainage are not properly handled. Everything have messed up in that country. We only hear about billions of naira spent on all these things, on newspapers alone and TV, without the physical part of it. They have all looted those funds and go and store and go and save it abroad for their unborn generation. With all due respect, Ugu will kill all of us. You all that have thief the Nigerian country bend, that even a single drop of rain will cause a mighty flooding and erosion in our land, because all the drainage that's supposed to be in order have not been handled well. So the wrath of the nature raging across the country calls to mind an assertion made last year by the Minister of Water Resources and Rural Development, Engineer Suleiman Adamu, to wit: no power on earth can prevent the hydro pressure, no power can stop water. The power of water is stronger than an atomic bomb. Nigeria is currently grappling with the worst flooding in a decade, with those hitherto emotionally divested or passing interest in flooding issues, now realizing that this force of nature takes no prisoners. 2 days ago, the Nigerian Midstream and the Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority explained that the return of the long queues of in fuel stations in the Federal Capital Territory is as the result of the submerging of the major artery into Abuja by the unprecedented flooding in Kogi State. Kogi State has become a no-go area now. Not even any state. I'm not talking about maybe the provinces or whatever. No, any region in Kogi State it can contain people now. Even the so-called capital cannot. And Yahya Bello is there, dressing up and down, doing akpobi, doing like a gym master, while the flood is taking over the state. And upon that, he will still come out on national TV and begin to brag, he have done this, he have done that, whereas he have done nothing. A single drop of rain in Kogi State will ravage almost all the whole corners of it. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we are still on the case of the flooding we are having, most especially in Kogi State. Before those outside the Federal Capital Territory continue playing the ostrich, the point must be made that the attendant feminine from this flooding will spare no time. At a time, thousands of farmers have been pushed off their land owing to widespread insecurity. This flooding will in no small measure worsen the starvation in the country. Olam Nigeria Limited recently highlighted this after the submerging of the company's 4,400 hectares of land in Nasarawa State. It has warned that the price of the rice will go up in the country by December as massive flooding from River Benue damaging its crops and infrastructure. The agribusiness firm added that the flooding affected the company's $20 million investment and about 25% of Nigerians' rice needs. This one now, they don't bring politics into this. Before you know it now, you will find out that they will tell you they use how many billions of naira to stop the flooding, whereas they done nothing. That is the problem we are having in Nigeria. We keep having contracts upon contract, project upon project, only on newspapers and televisions. Then the physical part of it is another thing. It's nothing to write home about. Anyway, that is for now about the flooding we are having and the challenges we are having in the country through the flooding of the recent times. Let's go to the arrest of Lwkmd that collected over $200,000 from the Abuja Kaduna train victims. A member of the presidential committee that negotiated and secured the release of the abducted Kaduna train victims from terrorist Dr. Abdul Malik Atta has shed more light on what transpired before they could achieve success. We are moving forward. My people, from this I'm reading now, I'm going to conclude it from here, but I want you people to please listen attentively on how our security operatives are negotiating with bandits, but they find it difficult to negotiate with a single man who is Nnamdi Kanu. What kind of country are we into? Negotiating with bandits, even demanding that they deserve national honors. Wow. You better try, According to him, the terrorists were not demanding money initially, but it was the now arrested negotiator, Lwkmd, the head of Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, that influenced the terrorists to make monetary demands because of his own selfish reasons. Okay, let's proceed. Nigeria News recalls the remaining 23 kidnapped train passengers regained their freedom around 4 p.m. on Wednesday after being in captivity for more than 6 months. Sharing some details of the process that culminated in their release, Atta, whose father was also among the victims, told Channels Television in an interview that the committee, under the leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Irabor, made several sacrifices, including sleeping in the bush and dialoguing with the terrorists despite the risk. Can you see it? Sleeping in the bush, dialoguing. Not even they go there to rescue, but dialoguing. Then tell me, how are you going to give all this work national honor? simply because they sleep in the bush. But people have been in that bush for complete good 7 months and they're going to 8 months. And they don't deserve natural honor. It was you that went there to dialogue with people you're supposed to be against. What a country do we have? The country is gone. He however lamented that Mumu attempted to frustrate their efforts toward the rescue of the victims because of his own selfish reasons. We are moving forward. So this is how they do it. I don't understand that they now negotiate with terrorists who have caused damages to Nigerian economy, who have caused more harm than good in our country. How many lives have lost since the inception of all these terrorists and bandits? It's uncountable. Their life does not water. It does not matter anything to the federal government. I am very ashamed of this so-called Lwkmd, Irabor. You sacrifice, including sleeping in the bush, for dialoguing with the terrorists. And tomorrow you come out and tell me that you are a warlord. Shame unto you. Shame unto Nigerian security apparatus and operatives. You people are not worthy to be given that uniform. You are not worthy to be given that so-called uniform. And you are calling what do they call it? General. General of what? General without a single war. Just answering general for mount. The presidential committee member that added that their period to the intervention of the chief of defense staff, families of the victims have paid around $200,000 to the terrorists. So this money, are you going to pay this money back to all those families? The answer is no. The reverse is the case. On the influence of the Mamu, who claimed to be a negotiator but was working against their interest. He said because of Mamu's introduction of the money into the rescue process, the victims' families had parted with over 200,000 period to the chief of defense staff's intervention. Intervention on how? To negotiate with the terrorists. I salute on another try. The presidential committee made life-threatening sacrifices as we had to go into the forest to meet with the terrorists and even sleep in the bush. Hey, wahala day. It had been 6 months and 1 week, but we thank God everything has come to an end now. Thanks to the support from the federal government through the office of the chief of defense staff, we were able to go into the bush and bring back the remaining of our family members. You people should just come out and tell us how much you paid, because I am very sure, 100% sure, that if those terrorists will release these people, they will not wait for you to negotiate with them. So you people should leave all this petty lying. You are lying on the social media. Tell us how much do you people pay for those 23 people that remains. You went there to negotiate with somebody who is damaging the economy, bringing tears to families on daily basis, and you are telling me you are negotiating with them. Shame on to you, President Muhammadu Buhari, and your parastatals in all the angles. Speaking further, the committee member expressed delight that Mamu has been arrested, claiming that the self-acclaimed negotiator attempted to derail the entire process. We achieved this not through somebody who betrayed the committee and the government. I am talking about the person of Mamu Toku, who did everything within his reach to thwart the efforts of the government for his own interest. As we all know, he is in the hands of the government now. But we thank God, all our family members are back now. The bandits never asked for money. Tukumamu introduced money into the whole thing and derailed the process and kept everybody for the past 6 months. We parted away with about $200,000. Thank God the CDS took it upon himself and put in place a committee that never asked a kobo. Every sacrifice being done so far has been personal towards ensuring the release of our victims. I pray. Look at where Marvel's me. He said committee members deserve national honors. He said members of the committee that secured the release of the victims deserve to be praised and recognized for their patriotic efforts and sacrifices. Ogugo kill all of honor. He urged the security agents to find ways of deploying dialogue in dealing with the insecurity plaguing the nation. I repeat again, he said He ordered the security agents to find ways of deploying dialogue with the insecurity flooding the nation. In the committee, I can assure you that I work with credible people of the highest order. If I have my way, all of them will be given national honors. We risk our lives, went to the bush, we slept there in the bush. So those people that have been in the bush, but the ones that have died, their life does not matter at all. It's only your own life that matters. You will lose it very soon. That life that matters for you will lose it very soon. Since others that have been cleaning, they have been killing in the countries, even during the train attack, how many lives were lost? All those ones are not counted. It's only your life that you went into the bush and negotiate with them, and so they have to give you national honor. That award and national honor will kill you and your entire generation. Dara. We had a complaint of those people, the terrorists, even though we knew that they have done what they have done is wrong, but we have to engage them. You have to engage them on a combat or a physical battle or a spiritual battle. He said he went there to negotiate. You just tell us you carry a bag of money to went there for their release. That is the simple truth. So let's stop all these petty lies we are telling on the national TV and the newspaper here and there. Going forward, our security agencies must synergize their operations, and the government should open more room for further engagements. The government should open more room for further, for further negotiators or for further payment to the terrorists and bandits. Nigeria, shame unto you. We keep having billions of billions of contracts on security, but at the end of the day, it went into personal pockets, and the poor masses have no mouth. If they went on the street to protest, you will send your armies and soldiers to shoot on them. I pray that our country will never get to the level that Lebanon is at the moment. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, and other ones that have their economy that have failed, because that is where we are heading to. If care is not taken, Nigerians will witness what is happening in Lebanon, whereby when you went to a bank to withdraw your own money, they will tell you they are only entitled to withdraw not even 1%, 0.5% of the total amount you have in your bank account. I pray we don't get to that extent. My dear people, my good listeners, all my fans out there, my subscribers, we are one and only Lwkmd Daily Talk, bringing to you Lwkmd Daily Talk news for Saturday morning. So, as we also used to do it, remember that is our culture. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my content, invite your family and friends, so that we will move this ministry to the permanent site. Until I meet you once again, do not touch the dial. I'll be right back. Kemesiano.